This is my thoughts on Spider-Man being back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And of course, according to Wikipedia and several online reports and several YouTubers, Spider-Man will be making his debut in Captain America Civil War next year, and I think after that he will be appearing in the Avengers films. First of all, I am actually mixed about this. First off, I am really excited that Spider-Man is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and that the Amazing Spider-Man movie franchise is over because that was terrible. That was so terrible that franchise was so terrible. I don't even want to see another Spider-Man film until they get it right because they just can't seem to get it right. The Sam Raimi trilogy is awesome, but they haven't aged well. They were good for their time, but they haven't aged well. But they're still the best Spider-Man films out now. They're still the best Spider-Man films out now. And then the Amazing Spider-Man film franchise was just garbage. Was just garbage. The Amazing Spider-Man film franchise is one of the worst comic book film franchise, is one of the worst, are two of the worst comic book films of all time, and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of the worst films I've ever seen. Is one of the worst films I've ever seen. Not only is it one of the worst comic book movies of all time, not only is it the worst incarnation of Spider-Man, one of the worst incarnations of Spider-Man, it's the worst comic book. It's the worst movie of all time. So I'm really happy that series is over with. But like I said, after seeing how awful the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was, they just can't seem to get them right. For only the cartoons, the comic books, which debuted the character, and yeah, the cartoons and the comics are the only ones who could seemingly get Spider-Man right. Hell, even the PlayStation, Nintendo 64, PC, Sega Dreamcast video game from back in the day, based on the animated series, was more Spider-Man than this. Was more Spider-Man than the Amazing Spider-Man film trilogy, film series was. So I don't want to see those Spider-Man films because they can't seem to get them right. The Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, which everybody hates, I like that cartoon. I like that cartoon. It's for kids. It's for kids and it's for kids, but it has several things for adults too. It has several things for adults too, and is actually, while some of the writing is a little bit, while some of the comedy and writing is, the writing is pretty good, and it washed a horrible taste out of my mouth. That was the Amazing Spider-Man films. Yeah. So yeah, the cartoons and comics is where Spider-Man needs to stay. But of course, so them putting him aside in having him as a sidekick or putting him aside in favor of other heroes, I don't mind it because, like I said, his solo movies just suck. These studios can't seem to get them right. Sam Raimi's trilogy, like I said, is badass, awesome, but it hasn't aged well. Like a lot of films, in my opinion, from that era, it hasn't aged well. It hasn't aged well. It doesn't hold a candle to Marvel Cinematic. They don't hold a candle to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's my opinion of Sam Raimi's trilogy. So that's why I'm happy that what's his name will be featured as a character in Civil War, and I think he's supposed to appear in the Avengers films too. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about that. Now, the actors. The first actor they got, I can pull his name up right here. Hold on. The very first actor, they have. Oh yeah, Logan Lerman. He's the very first actor they want to portray Spider-Man. I think he's terrible. He's another pretty boy, and he should not be Spider-Man. Dylan O'Brien, Dylan O'Brien, this guy would be perfect for Spider-Man. This guy is perfect for a young Spider-Man. Yeah, this guy is perfect for Spider-Man and Peter Parker. So I'm mixed about that, especially if they're getting this guy, the second guy, Dylan O'Brien. The first guy, Logan, no more models, no more pretty boys playing Spider-Man. They gotta look nerdy. They gotta look nerdy looking. They gotta look nerdy looking. No more pretty boys playing Spider-Man or Peter Parker. Yeah. And then of course, which I'm also disappointed with, they're still moving ahead with those spin-offs. The Venom spin-off. Only Kevin Feige will now oversee those. So I guess that's some improvement that he will be overseeing those versus Mark Webb and those other people at Sony. But still, no, no, I don't want any other films featuring Spider-Man. So I'm still mad. They're still think that they're still doing those spin-offs. I don't think they're doing the Sinister Six spin-off. I remember seeing Spider-Woman, Black Cat, and Venom, but I don't think they're doing the Sinister Six spin-off, and I really hope they're not. Really hope they're not, because that's stupid. A movie about supervillains. Dumb. Dumb. Yeah, so like I said, I'm happy he's back, but I'm mixed because they just can't get him right. They just can't get him right. And I'm biased towards the comics and animated series when it comes to Spider-Man after seeing the garbage that was the Amazing Spider-Man 2 franchise. So yeah, congratulations. Yes, we don't have to see the Amazing Spider-Man movies anymore. Ah, yeah, Spider-Man is back where he's belong. That this was a joke. Like I said, it is a joke that Spider-Man, one of the Marvel's most popular characters, is not in Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is a joke that the Fantastic Four are not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Inhumans are, and the Fantastic Four debuted the Inhumans. So it is a joke that X-Men, one of the most popular Marvel franchises of all time, is not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So like I said, yes, one of the good steps to bringing Spider-Man back to where it was bringing Spider-Man, doing Spider-Man justice, was bringing him back to the cinematic universe. But that was the first step. You got several more because, like I said, you have to convince me to see another Spider-Man film from now on. You have to convince me to see another Spider-Man film after the garbage that was the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. All right, Dugout.